A salmon salad with sun-dried tomato pesto and avocado is perfect for this time of year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you to make some sun-dried tomato pesto. We're going to serve it with some avocado, but we're going to kind of roast off a little bit of beetroot. Now I'm using the pre-cooked beetroot, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, but we're going to jazz it up so we are with some of the thyme balsamic oil. So this is what they look like here. Normally when I'm cutting beetroot, I'd wear gloves, because I've cut them into nice big chunks, if you can see that there. So they're already cooked, so really all you're doing is getting more and more flavour in there. Now I am going to use the extra virgin olive oil in both of these recipes. So this pan here is going to be for my salmon, and then this pan here I'm going to put my beetroot in that. But I'm going to put oil, some fresh thyme. I want to show you this. Some beautiful fresh thyme, which works really well with beetroot. And if you do grow your own beetroot, you can simply roast it off in the oven. You can cover it with some tin foil, some garlic, a little bit of oil, and some fresh thyme. It works really, really well. So heat the pan. We've cut them into nice big chunks. I'll just show you. So that's probably half of one of those big ones, depending on the size. You can get the little baby beetroot. They're vacuum packed. I just picked it up in Dunnes Stores. Just my nearest one is in a skillen, and we're just going to simply just warm this up. So beetroot works really well. Actually, this beetroot here would work really well with goat's cheese, grilled chicken, all that kind of thing. But with salmon, it actually is really, really tasty. So I'm going to pop that into the pan. We're going to put a little bit of thyme. So it's going to crack now when you hear the crackle a little bit. You'll hear this now in a moment. Hear that? And then we're going to put in some balsamic and some salt. So the salt I'm using, everyone, is some Clogherhead. Okay, so it's the Oriel sea salt. And again, they have the PGI logo, Protected Geographical Indication. So that goes in there, and then a splash, a large splash. You know me and the balsamic. It's gorgeous. Now you can put honey into that, you can put maple syrup into that. Just let that kind of cook away. I might put a little bit more balsamic into it and just kind of warming that through. So for our salmon, let's talk about the salmon. This is from Clare Island. It's organic Irish salmon Darren's. So there is no bone in it, it's pin boned, but there is some skin on. And I like when with fish when the skin is nice and crispy. So all I'm going to do is just with the oil, you saw me putting that on, I've cut the salmon in half. And all I'm going to do is just start off, nice hot pan. Can you hear that? You can do this on a barbecue either. Little pinch of butter. Pinch, says I. Cube of butter. And then just move around just your beetroot. That's what we want to do. We want to get a nice bit of caramelization and get lovely flavour onto that beetroot. And you can put in chili, you can put in lots of different things. So salmon cooks exceptionally quick. Now I'm going to show you how to make some sun-dried tomato pesto. If you don't have time, you can use this one here. So this is Simply Better Italian sun-dried tomato pesto, and there's chili in it. So there's a little bit of a kick, but I'm going to make up my own version. So using the NutriBullet, we're using these beautiful sun-dried tomatoes. So these are left to dry in the sun. They're the full sun-dried tomatoes, not the semi-sun-dried, and they're left to dry for 3 days. So it's the intensity of the Italian sun that gives it so much flavour. Into that, we're going to put in 2 cloves of garlic. We're going to put in 2 teaspoonfuls of tomato puree. And then we're going to put in some oil into this, and we're going to use some extra virgin olive oil. So plenty of this. So this is a lovely recipe for you to make extra and keep in a nice little Kindler jar, which I have here. Okay? Now, salt, pepper and basil. Just look at the way this is beginning to caramelize here. Now remember, it's on low, and the salmon I'm going to turn on low too. You can see the way it's kind of cooking there. See, Nella? It's kind of coming up. Now I'm going to flip it over in a minute, but the butter is important because it will give so much flavour. That really is important. So some lovely fresh basil. A couple of sprigs of that. Just shake. I don't think I put salt actually onto the salmon, which we need to season up, and then we're going to blend this. Now I might need a little bit more oil. I think I might actually do that now. So you can use half the extra virgin olive oil, half the rapeseed oil, and we're going to blend this. So this is the NutriBullet, really, really quick. So excuse the noise. Let that do all the work for you. Move around the beetroot. Now, so normally when you do this and you leave it overnight in the fridge, what happens? I'll just show it to you. It kind of separates. so the oil will always sink. Sorry, the pulp will sink and the oil will go back to the top. So that's it there. That is delicious. Really is delicious with pasta and with roasted vegetables. Okay, a wee bit more balsamic in here. It's going to be a wee bit noisy. So this is a 3-year-old balsamic that I'm using. I got to meet this producer in Italy, and I just love balsamic vinegar. It's one of my favourite vinegars. So I'm going to flip over our salmon. That's gorgeous. See that little bit of colour? And it's just nicely, gently cooking. We want it just cooked. We'll finish it with some lemon. Okay, I think for the beetroot, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in a little bit of some zest of lemon. So, to recap, a little bit of oil. I used olive oil, some thyme and some balsamic, and just a little touch of lemon in here. And this is delicious on its own. Now, if you're lucky enough to grow your own, we're very lucky in the restaurant. We have a gardener, Kevin's there, and he grows the most beautiful beetroot, so he does. So I'll just get a little bit of lemon just to go onto my salmon towards the end. And then what I like to do is to kind of, when I'm doing this, is just to spoon a little bit of this just over the salmon. It'll make a little bit of a noise now, and then we'll flip it over. So I'm actually trying to get as much flavour in there as possible. So keep them nice. So that's a full Darren, which I've just cut in half. Okay, have the lemon there beside me. So a little bit of salad dressing. We're going to use some whole grain mustard. We're going to use a touch of honey. I've had a few people asking me on social media about showing them how to make a simple salad dressing. So I'll show you. You can use Dijon mustard. I'm going to use some whole grain mustard. That's fine. We're going to use some nice honey, and this is from an Irish company called Leave and Honey. They're based in Kilkenny. So that's where the sweetness comes in. Now, when we're doing this, we're going to use one of these and about half of the vinegar. So that's the extra virgin olive oil. You can put in 2 if you want to, but it's usually twice the amount of oil to the vinegar that you're going to put into this. So this is our balsamic. Now you can do this with red wine vinegar, sherry vinegar, cider vinegar, whatever you want to, and then salt and pepper. And that's your salad dressing. And that will keep for weeks in your fridge. So it's very easy. You get really good oil, really good vinegar. Away you go. Sea salt, black pepper. So the beetroot switched off. The salmon is on cooking. And why I didn't start with the pesto, because it will burn. It'll burn very, very easily. Look at the way it catches there. Gorgeous. So just turn that off. In a moment, a little squeeze of lemon juice. And that will just slow down the cooking process. So you're absolutely fine to have your salmon slightly pink in the center. It's up to you how you like your salmon. I'm going to switch that off. We're just going to whisk this, and then we're going to serve it up. A little bit of avocado too. I'm going to show you how to prepare that. So this is our salad dressing, everyone. So you have the honey there, you have the vinegar, you have a little bit of oil. So that's a nice little dressing to have, and obviously you can make double of it. And don't forget, for the pesto or the salad dressing, in a little airtight container, or those Kindler jars are absolutely brilliant. Okay, I'm going to make a little bit of room. We're going to get our avocado. Just move this here. So the avocado, so what you're looking for is that it's nice and soft. Okay, sometimes it's a little bit dark in there. You can just literally scoop that out. So I'm going to get a spoon, which I have here. And there's nothing worse than an underripe avocado. It's not nice to eat. So avocados, I think, can be very bland. They really can. A little bit of lime juice works really well if you want to make this ahead. And we'll just slice this into 3 nice chunks. So we'll just arrange that just there. Same for this one here. And same for this here. Now, I'm going to bring over my plate. Bring it over beside me here. And then our beetroot. So our beetroot, which we've already done, I'll use the tongs, it's a wee bit easier. In the restaurant we'll be using tweezers, but we don't use them at home. So you have your lovely beetroot, which is roasted off, finished with a little bit of some lemon. You could do with the tweezers, they're moving around here. So it's a nice way of just warming through the beetroot. And I think you have great flavour with the balsamic. Now, we don't want to waste that because you have a lovely little bit of dressing there. So we don't waste anything. So that goes right over your beetroot. Okay, next is our salmon. So the salmon, okay, it's the Clare Island salmon that we're using. You can just serve it one piece like this, and then the other portion like that. Yeah, just arrange it like that. Tastes really good. And them are nice little bit of pesto. So this is going to go just around the plate, and then a little bit of salad, and them are dressing, and that's it. It's a really simple, quick salad. Good salmon. When you're mixing a salad, always at the last minute. So you have your salad dressing. See the way it separates? So you give that a little mix through. If it's too sweet tasted, you add more vinegar. You can add lemon juice into it. So just mix this all together. And then we're just going to arrange this just on top. So a nice big kind of like pile of salad leaves. We have the radicchio. We have also a little bit of endive there, baby spinach. So a nice little mix of salad there. Nice little contrast of colour, flavour, texture. And then just to finish it, just a couple of little sprigs of these lovely little basil leaves here. I love basil, my favourite herb. Absolutely, yeah, those little plants are brilliant. So pick off the little leaves, arrange that just around, and then more olive oil, just a wee drizzle. How good does that look? That's really, really fresh, super healthy. You have your beetroot, which is pre-cooked, roast it with some balsamic, a little bit of thyme, a touch of oil, and then we have our lovely salmon from Clare Island, done with that lovely sun-dried tomato pesto. If you don't have time to make your own, you can obviously pick this one up here. There's a little bit of chili in it, so it's a bit of a kick to it. So there is a little bit spicier than the one I made. And then our avocado. Make sure it's ripe. You can put some lime juice if you want to make this ahead, a little bit of salad, and there we go. So happy cooking, everyone. Thank you for all the engagement and the interest in the recipes, and I hope you try this lovely nice summer salad with some salmon, beetroot and avocado and sun-dried tomato pesto.